to my channel. Today I am doing my Eurovisionathon TBR video. You'll have to bear with me because there are 40 countries. I will not be able to go into the description of every book for obvious reasons, because this video could end up being about 3 hours long. So I'm just going to say each country and which book I'm hoping to read for that country. So first we've got Albania. I will be trying to read Aiden's Cross by Alice Mead. For Australia, I will be trying to read Sari by Sue Dharmapala. For Austria, I will be doing a reread of Forever Liesel, the My Sound of Music story by Shamian Kar. For Azerbaijan, I will be reading Full Tilt Island to India with a Bicycle by Dervla Murphy. For Belarus, I will be reading Gingerbread by Robert Dinsdale. For Belgium, I will be reading Diplomatic Baggage by Bridget Keenan. For Bulgaria, I will be reading Fear in the Cotswolds by Rebecca Tope. For Croatia, I will be reading The Secret Cove in Croatia by Julie Kaplan. For Cyprus, I will be reading Secrets Under the Sun. I'm afraid I haven't got the author for that one, but it'll come up in a picture form. For Czech Republic, I will be reading The Thing About Prague by Rachel Weisz or Goethe by Katerina Tukova. For Denmark, I will be reading Gone Viking by Helen Russell. For Estonia, I will be reading Everything is Wonderful by Sigrid Rousing. For Finland, I will be reading Sister Chicks on the Loose by Robin Jones. I think it says Gunn. For France, I will be reading The Red Notebook by Antoine Lorraine. For Georgia, I will be reading Nala's World by Dean Nicholson. For Germany, I will be reading The Vintage Springtime Club by Beatrice Meyer. For Greece, I will be reading My Family and Other Animals by Gerald Durrell. For Iceland, I will be reading Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. For Ireland, I will either be reading Raw by Cecilia Ahern, which is short stories, or The Henna Wars. I can't remember the author, but it will come up in picture form shortly. For Israel, I will be reading This Lemon Tree by Sandy Tolan. For Italy, I have a few options. I could either be reading This Changes Everything by Helen McGinn, My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrant, or Messy Wonderful Us by Catherine Isaac. I will just choose what I feel like at the time. For Latvia, I will be reading The Fourth Largest in Latvia by Mike Collier. For Lithuania, I will be reading The Truth Waits by Susanna Beard. For Malta, I will be reading The Malta Escape by Chris Kuzneski. For Moldova, I will be reading Don't Go There by Adam Fletcher. For North Macedonia, I will be reading To the Lake, A Balkan Journey of War and Peace by Kapka Kasabova. For Norway, I will be reading Boy Tales of Childhood by Roald Dahl. For Poland, I will be reading The Zookeeper's Wife by Diane Ackerman. For Portugal, I will be reading The High Mountains of Portugal by Jan Martel. For Romania, I will be reading Along the Enchanted Way by William Blacker. For Russia, I will be reading any of the Sophie Anderson books, so The Girl Who Speaks Burr or The House with Chicken Legs, something like that. For San Marino, I will be reading Tragedy in San Marino by Kathy Fiscus. For Serbia, I will be reading Snippets of Serbia by Emma Vick. For Slovenia, I will be reading Never Drive a Hashback to Austria by R.A. Dolke. Obviously, that could be used for Austria, I assume. For Spain, I will either be reading The Pilgrimage by Paulo Coelho or The Camino by Shirley MacLaine. Ooh, sorry, I'm dropping all my books. For Sweden, I will be reading The Readers of Broken Wheel Recommend by Katarina Vivalds. For Switzerland, I will be reading The Rest of Their Lives by Jean-Paul Didier-Laurent. For the Netherlands, I will be reading Midwinter Break. For Ukraine, I will be reading The Fault Line by Paulo Ramiz. And for the United Kingdom, I will be reading The Never Have I Ever Club by Mary Jane Barker. That is the group book for Eurovisionathon. But obviously for UK, there are lots you can choose from. I've got a couple of books that can probably be used for multiple countries during Eurovisionathon. You cannot double up on prompts. It's a single book per prompt. However, there are some books that if you're getting to the end and you need one for a certain country, you can't think of anything. I found one called The Good, the Bad and the Worst, the 100 craziest moments from the Eurovision Song Contest. That's bound to mention pretty much every country that's been in Eurovision, so that's a good one to maybe find an obscure country to pick as long as it's mentioned in there. And then another one is a thriller type mystery book that I found. It's a B.B. Bollinger murder mystery, Over My Dead Body, Murder at Eurovision by Christopher Fisher. So just another couple to recommend. So I hope this was okay. It was a whistle-stop tour, but I'm sure you understand that if I'd have described every one of those books, we could have been here for hours. So these are likely to change if I find something else along the way. I've got quite a few on my wish list that I might treat myself to as we get nearer to Eurovisionathon. But I have a few on Kindle, I have a few on Scribd, I have a few on BorrowBox. I've got my physical ones here. So I am all set to go. Last year I got through 22 books out of the 26. So I'm aiming for about 20 books this year. I've got a week of annual leave during Eurovisionathon, so I'm hoping to get plenty done during that week. Please list below any books that you are considering, if you've read any of these, if you've got any other suggestions for other countries. If you've done a TBR for Eurovisionathon, please link it below. I will love to watch it. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.